Hey guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. Today is April 1st. Spoiler alert, there are no jokes, no pranks, nothing today, because this is not the time in history for pranks and jokes. So, it is April 1st. I'm out here giving some of the strays a little something to eat. I bought some canned cat food when all this started happening for my cats as an emergency backup in case I couldn't find my regular cat food, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that none of my 3 cats will eat the store brand cat food. They won't eat it. So I brought it out for the strays and they're very happy to have it. All right, there's this little skinny little guy. He looks just like Ty, but he's skinny, skinny, skinny. I don't know if he's so skinny because he's sick or he doesn't eat enough, but I try to feed him as much as I can. And then over here, you may recognize these guys. Do you see them? I'm sorry, sweetheart. The black one's very skittish. And that little calico number, she's so pretty. Yeah, well, they have some food today. And I gotta find a different place to feed the cats. Do you see these ant hills, these ant burrows? Look at those. These suckers are, where are they? See that guy? They're big. They're big and they're red. They look very dangerous. And they have set up camp right next to where I usually feed the cats. So I'm gonna have to find a new place to feed the strays. Hey guys, hi. So I'm heading back to my apartment after feeding the strays, and I made the giant mistake of looking at my email. Well, it's not a mistake. Being informed isn't a mistake, but still it was disheartening. We are going to see further reductions in flying for April, especially after April 8th. I'm not sure why that's a cutoff date, but so the union sent out an email saying that we should expect cancellations during every pairing. So I don't know what that's going to look like, how that's going to work for April. This pairing that I start tonight starts with a red-eye to Fort Lauderdale. Then tomorrow I have 25 hours in Fort Lauderdale. The day after that I was supposed to work. Right now I'm going to be deadheading to Tampa and then working up to Pittsburgh, I think. And then the next day I'll be working from Pittsburgh to LA, which is going to be a long flight, with nothing to do because none of our, whatever. And then I'll be deadheading to LA. That's how things are scheduled right now. There was supposed to be an LaGuardia turn tucked into that Pittsburgh-Tampa thing, but they removed that. I'm a little anxious about April only because with any further reduction in flying, that I still am pay protected for my line, so that's great. I'll be able to pay my rent and my cell phone bill, which are my 2 big expenses. The money that we get from the stimulus check from the government, I'm gonna do my best to throw that at my 2 credit cards so I can reduce any potential interest payments and things like that. So yeah, but the per diem I'll miss because that's between $600 and $700 a month on a long full schedule. Now I'm getting more anxious, and I really should at this point start reciting the Serenity Prayer about the things I cannot change, right? But May, I don't know what's going to happen in May. I'm eager to see what the bid sheet looks like, just because I'm curious and I'm afraid, and I just want to face it and get it over with. But I'm anxious around May. But I'm going to be as super frugal as I can during April and May. The only thing I will splurge on occasionally is an Uber. Usually I splurge on an Uber because I'm lazy and I don't want to spend an hour dragging my crap to a bus stop, waiting for a bus, getting to the airport, all that stuff, because it can take an hour. But in this time, I really don't want to be on a bus or any other public transportation more than I have to. As it is, I do this for work. I don't want to be on a bus too. So I may splurge on an Uber, but that's going to be my only splurge this month. Just that, groceries, cell phone bill, and my rent. Ta-da! All right, so I'm going to go back in the house and see if I can force Buddy to take a nap with me. He wants to go out and play with the other cats, but they're all fighting for the attention of Diana, and it's just not a good place for him to be right now. So I'm going to try and keep him in the house. There you are. So I will see you guys later on, probably at the airport. All right, I'm waiting for my Uber because I don't want to get on a bus, although they are running. It's weird. Can you see that bright spot right above my temple? Right there, right where my glasses are? I think that's a planet or a star or something. I'm not sure if it's because of what's going on that no one is out and about, but the air and the sky has never been clearer in the years I've lived here. Hey guys, so I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I did film something while I was on the aircraft in Las Vegas before boarding, but I was dancing along the edge of our social media policy, so I decided it was a safer move just to delete that. It wouldn't have been good. So I'm here in Fort Lauderdale. We had 10 guests on our plane. They were asleep the entire time. The flight took 4 hours and 6 minutes. It felt like a year. It was ridiculous. So I got some reading done and did my periodic walks up and down the aircraft, making sure everyone's safe. I got lots of time to really twist and turn over emails that we got. We got a couple more emails after. I think I talked with you guys earlier today about the emails we got about flying for April and May. They're reducing our flying in April even more. We're going to have 4 layover cities. 4. I think 2 of them are LA and Tampa. I forget the other 2, but we're going to have 4 layover cities. I'll find out. I think it's noon today. It might be noon today. I'll find out what my schedule will look like after it's amended for this additional reduction in flying. So I should find out hopefully today what the rest of April will look like. And we received some other emails regarding this voluntary time off, VTO, for May. The union is really trying to encourage us to, I think they're really trying to encourage people, especially commuters and people like that, to take this voluntary time off in May. Because if enough people don't take this voluntary time off in May, then they're going to start furloughing people. Yep. Which makes me suspect that my airline is not accepting funds from the government that other airlines will be accepting. I think my airline's probably positioned financially better than other airlines. We're fairly small. We own our aircraft. We don't have a lot of debt, if any. So the biggest cost for us is fuel and staff, flight attendants, pilots, maintenance, and all that stuff. So, yeah, so if enough people don't take this voluntary time off, they're going to start furloughing people. I'm in a real quandary. I really am, over whether or not to bid for this voluntary time off. They've extended the time for us to bid for that time off. We now can bid for it through the 4th, I think, which is the end of this 4-day trip I'm on right now. So I really have to spend the next couple days going over the pros and cons of applying for that voluntary time off. The big pro is to avoid other people. and stay home, which everyone should be doing right now. I still see a lot of people not social distancing in Las Vegas. But the big pro would be that I would be sort of forced to stay home, which is not a big sacrifice for me because that means I get to play with my cats as much as I want and play video games and clean my apartment. I could clean my apartment. That would be good. The con is that June's paycheck would be debilitating. I could do what I could to save up through April and May. I don't know. I really have, yeah, I'm in a quandary. I talk a lot about money lately. I think I need to really stop. And I have to learn a lesson through this is to save more money. Having a savings account that's comfortable would really have made this less scary. I have enough money saved up where I could get through the next month and a half, maybe 2 months. But June, if I don't work in May, June will be hard. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But I have to figure out what I'm going to do in the next couple of days. So, and I think I'll find out, I think I mentioned this earlier, I think I'll find out later on today what the rest of April will look like. So if I see any major differences or anything interesting, I'll let you know about that. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Nighty night, or good morning, either way. Good morning. Hey guys, so I'm in Fort Lauderdale, and something has happened today that has never happened to me before and will never happen again. I overslept. Yeah, very upset. Very nice person at the front desk here just offered something of a bite to eat to me. And I was like, thank you, but no, thank you. I'm very upset. I really can't eat right now. And she's like, oh, I can just grab you something. It's no problem. I said, thank you. No, I'm all set. She goes, oh, it's right over here. I'm like, please, thank you. I'm very upset. I cannot eat right now. Thank you. So I can't even talk right now. I'm so upset. I'm waiting for an Uber. Thankfully, it's just a deadhead to Tampa, so I'm not working this flight, but still, the idea that I overslept is killing me. I think this hopefully happens to a flight attendant in their career at least once. Hopefully, this is my once. I can't even tell you how upset I am. It's taking 20 minutes for this Uber driver to get here, and I think I'm going to throw up. I'm so upset. That's not him. It's 20 minutes for this Uber driver to get here. There's only one Uber driver in like the entire of Broward County. All right. This isn't the worst thing that's ever going to happen to me. Okay, right. It gets better. The Uber driver dropped me off at Terminal 1. And I said, is this Terminal 3? I was busy looking at my phone for my schedule today. He said, yep, it's Terminal 1. All right, I made it. Of course, I was the second to last passenger. That was the most epic my journey will ever be when it comes to getting to work. This is why I always leave the hotel an hour early in case anything happens, right? This time I'm playing it, I'm deadheading, I don't have to be in a rush. Guess what? Never again. Oh, guys, oh my God, oh, this is not a good angle for me. Oh, holy gosh, what a day. All right, so you guys have just witnessed a moment ago for me a few hours ago. You've just witnessed me as being as upset as I get these days. I apologize if I seemed a little edgy. I was so upset with myself and so disappointed with myself because I set 3 alarms and I disregarded all 3 of them this morning. The front desk called me exactly at my the time for my van, saying, "Hi, you're coming down." Thankfully, I had my bag packed before I go to sleep at night. I pack my bag, I put everything away, I make sure everything is charged and in its right place before I get in bed. So in the morning, all I have to do is shower and go. So thank God, because I was packed in my uniform and ready to go by like 5 past. So in 5 minutes, I was downstairs. But as you also witnessed, me freaking out, the Uber it took almost 20 minutes to get to me. And he's driving around, and I can see him. He's lost. The area our hotel is located there is in a weird little cul-de-sac, and the guy's driving, and I'm watching him drive around, clearly lost. Then he shows up in a pickup truck, which is not what was shown on the app. So I didn't know it was him. I just slung those things into the back of the truck, my bags, and hopped in. We are driving to the airport, and where everyone usually drives 80 miles an hour in Tampa, of course, every lane of traffic was moving the exact same speed, so we couldn't get past them. The driver was showing great ambition in getting me to the airport, and so I'm looking at my phone. You saw all this in a moment ago, but I'm calm. I can describe it better. So I'm looking down at my phone, looking at the flight information for my gate and all that stuff, and I knew what terminal it was. So he pulls up, he's like, "Here we are," and I just get out because I told him what terminal we're going to, and the app should have told him where we were supposed to go, but he goes, "Hey, we're here," and so I hop out, he drives away, I look up, and I'm at Terminal 1. My gate is at Terminal 4, but because KCM is closed, I have to go through gate Terminal 3 and hustle. I get to the gate, G11, and I'm standing there. There's no gate agent. My crew is nowhere to be found, and I'm like, gosh, what's going on? Did I make it? Blah, blah, blah. I ended up being like 5 minutes late, but since we give 45 minutes to board, and this is a deadhead, I wasn't working the flight, so I wasn't really late. I just could have been there earlier. I'm waiting, going like, oh, decompressing, sweating, still stressed out, and there's no gate agent to let me down. I'm not sure if we already boarded. And then someone just accidentally says that we're at gate G6, although it still says Tampa on the board at G11. So I just hustled down, and I was like the second to last person on the plane. This didn't mean to be a story time. But you're watching my videos, so you know it's a story time. I get on the plane, sit down, I'm chatting with my coworkers, my crewmates, and the guy next to me suddenly realizes he left his cell phone. He's in the seat section across from me. He's not sitting next to me. He left his cell phone in the lavatory, the bathroom in the airport, and the door was just about to close, so he could not get his phone. He was really upset. So I said, when we land, I can do my best using my phone. We can try and find whoever you're trying to reach, who's going to pick you up, through Facebook or whatever. And he was grateful for that. And so when we landed in Tampa, I said, "Hey, who am I going to try and find for you?" Or I gave him my phone. He didn't have his reading glasses, so it's having a hard time. I'm sorry, keep talking. So he's like, "Could you just Google this place where I'm going?" And it turns out to be a recovery center. Like, he's coming here to Tampa to recover from addiction. And that's only interesting in that when we took off, he was so stressed because of where he's going and the fact that he left his phone. He ordered a beer from the flight attendant during the short flight. And I said, here, let me pay for it. So because he's having a rough morning, let me buy him a drink. So I gave the flight attendant my credit card. I honestly didn't think she would actually swipe my card. I was doing it more as a gesture, but she swiped it. All right, fine. I didn't think she would actually swipe my card, but she did. And it turns out, after buying him a beer, he's going to a recovery center. He's not the first person who needed a drink to get to a recovery center, so I do not blame him at all. I just find it mildly ironic that, here I am, 17 years sober, buying someone a beer who's going to recover. So I gave him my cell phone number and my email address, just in case he needs someone to talk to at some point, or he's having a difficult time and can't reach out to anybody, just so he's not alone. And that's something pretty typical that you would do if you're going to a meeting and you meet someone new for the first time who's just entering into the lifestyle of being sober. One of the first things you do is give them your cell phone number so that if they do need to reach out to you, they can. And if you're a really good person, and I didn't do it this time, if you're a really good person, you don't give them your number, you take their number and you call them, because the odds of them calling you are just pretty slim. So, if you're still watching this, thank you so much. You're just a saint, I swear. This can't touch my face. This video in particular has just turned into a poop shoot. Sorry. So I'm in Tampa for a few hours. We're gonna take a shuttle later on to the airport, and then we're gonna work a flight from Tampa to Pittsburgh. And I have something I'll chat with you guys about later on in terms of voluntary time off that my company is encouraging. I have something to tell you about that. I'll tell you about that in a moment or two in your time. In my time, I need to get back in this bed right there just for an hour or so. I'm not going to oversleep because what happened today, I would like a little bit more of a nap. So I will talk to you guys later. Toodaloo. Hey guys, all right, so I'm in Tampa. We had about six and a half hours here. The shuttle to the airport isn't supposed to leave till 2:30. I am down here at 2:05 after this morning's little charade. Yeah, no, that's never happening again. So I'm down here a little early. We're going to be flying to Pittsburgh today. It's about a 2-hour flight. We have about a 10-hour layover, and then we fly to LA tomorrow, and then we deadhead from LA to Vegas. So that's what today and tomorrow look like. And I think what I'll do is, rather than talk to you guys now about May, I will either do a separate video on that. I might. Or if not, I'll include it into this video, but not till I get to Pittsburgh. So it might be a separate video, though. All right. Well, I will talk to you later, probably in Pittsburgh. Okay. This is the Pittsburgh airport. 6 o'clock in the evening. This is scary. Hey, guys. Hello. So I'm in Pittsburgh. It is April 4th. And we're heading home today. So we fly from Pittsburgh to LA. We work that flight, and then we deadhead from LA back to Vegas. So the day shouldn't be too bad. It's supposed to be a pretty long trip, though. It's almost 6 hours. So there's that. I didn't film anything last night because I had 10 hours of a layover. So what I did when I got into the room, since there was no microwave, I pulled out my Hot Logic Mini, which is my lifesaver. Again, I mean, I couldn't live without it. And I put 2 of those Barilla Ready pasta pouches, into that, heated the pasta up, and I put some pesto on it after it heated up. And while that was happening, I watched a movie. You could call it a movie. It's almost like a movie, but it was also kind of like being waterboarded. Ugh! The Dark Tower, the Stephen King movie that was inspired by something that Stephen King wrote, but it wasn't this. Oh my God. I wrote on Facebook, like, I watched this movie, and my friends were like, "Ooh, you made it. You watched the whole thing." I'm like, yeah, but I lost something of my soul. It was just a bad movie. Just bad, bad, bad. But I watched that and went to sleep. I got about 5 hours of sleep, maybe 6. And now I'm heading down to the shuttle a little early because of yesterday. Never happening again. All right, so I will talk to you guys probably back in Las Vegas. Hey guys, hi. So I'm in Los Angeles. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Stephen, beards make these masks almost useless because you need a good seal, which you're totally right. But one of my guests gave this to me. This guy comes up, this passenger comes up, and he just walks right up to me to ask me a question. And I, like, out of just reaction, I stepped back like 3 steps. I'm like, what are you doing? It's not polite to do that in public anymore, just to rush up to someone up like this. And I just like, whoo, backed up. And one of my passengers, a very nice guy, saw my reaction and was like, I have an extra mask. Would you like it? And I'm like, yes. Who knows if it will help? The CDC seems to have changed their mind about whether or not we wear masks or not. But so there's no one in my immediate vicinity, so I'm not wearing it. I have ordered some on Amazon, but they're not getting to me till like the middle of May. So whatever. Guys, we had about 17. We had 17 people on the plane from Pittsburgh to LA. Then I have about an hour and a half to wait until I actually get on a flight to Deadhead back to Las Vegas. My crewmates are trying to get on a flight, an American flight. I don't want to hustle. I am not in the mood to hustle over to a different terminal or whatever to jump on an American flight. I'll just rather just hang out here and yeah. I did read another email. We get a lot of emails. Our company is definitely staying in touch with us. There's another email saying that apparently our airline did apply for funds from the government, the CARES bill or something. So it looks like my airline is going to try and get some of those funds to help us stay afloat, flight attendants and the airline. So that's comforting. That's nice to know. So we'll see what happens there. That's fantastic. I had suspected we weren't going to take it, but it looks like we are. If we get it, who knows? Who knows? I don't know these things. We also got an email regarding some humanitarian acts. Apparently, we have some planes in places like Bogota, Colombia, and this trash car is gonna make a lot of noise, so I gotta stop talking in a sec. We're flying a lot of, like, 150 Americans. So loud. One sec. We're flying like 150 Americans back from Colombia after the country got shut down. This trash cart is so loud. Do you know why it's loud? Look behind me. The airport's empty, so everything is loud. Ooh, that trash can was getting really irritating and so loud. So apparently we're doing some humanitarian efforts in terms of getting Americans in countries that have been locked down back into the States. So that's really exciting. So good news. So I'm comforted by the email that our president sent out saying that we are applying for those CARE funds. CARES, I guess it's called. So we'll see how that is applied to the airline and us, most importantly. So that's good news. I think I will wait on ending this vlog until I actually get into Vegas, just in case something interesting happens. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Okay, bye. This is LAX airport. Yeah, things have changed. Hey guys, hi Diana, hi Buddy. I just got home a little while ago and Buddy gave me just enough time to take off my work shirt. And he's out here hanging out with Diana, who suspiciously does not look pregnant. She's been in heat recently, and I'm surprised she's not a little fuller figured right now. Hi. Here's Bowtie. I'm bringing him some food. Hi, sweetheart. Some food that my cats won't eat, and he is super skinny. I'm sorry, honey. Are you offended by me calling you skinny? No. His back, look at his back, and he's been in a little fight. He's got a little wound right there. Oh, he's so skinny. Alright, you eat that. You finish eating. I don't want to bother you. I'm sorry, honey. I have to wash my hands before I touch my other cats because I don't know what he's got. But there's some more dry food for the other cats. Bowtie likes wet food more than dry food. And I put the rest of the dry food over here, way away from the ants. Over here, but I was a little... Oh, hi. Hi, sweetheart. You see her? Oh, you can't. Hi, doll. Oh, her eyes. Hi. I'm gonna call you Mystique. That's what I'll call you. I didn't know what I was gonna name her. But her eyes in low light they're like green, like Mystique in the X-Men movies. Hi, sweetheart. This is the closest she's ever let me get. But I brought over a little too much food for the bowl, so I put it into a ripped up Pop-Tarts box. Say that 3 times fast. All right. Oh, where'd Mystique go? Oh, she's over there. All right. Well, that's enough of the cats out here. Hey guys, hi. So I'm home. I just got home and I'm feeding Diana. And there's my little boyfriend, Buddy, over there. He's been in the house for a little over 3 days, so he's happy to be outside. So am I. It's beautiful here. So I just got in from LA, got to the airport, and I sat down and I pulled some snacks out of my cooler because I was starving and I didn't want to spend money at Moe's, which was open. So I'm just a short story, because me and my story times, right? So I am sitting there having some snacks, and I watch one of my coworkers be pulled. Then she just got off at a different flight. She was pulled off to be random drug tested. Now, I've been randomed for being drug tested 3 times now. I don't get bent out of shape about it because I've been sober for over 17 years, so I'm not worried about anything, right? But I watched one of my coworkers be tested. She was pulled aside. They went away. Then the woman who was administering these tests came back and she found somebody else. And they did another drug test to somebody else. And then she found a 3rd person. And when they walked past me this 3rd time, when they walked past me, I said to my coworker in a light, funny tone, "Oh my God, they're doing drug tests? They're doing random drug tests now? With all this craziness?" And I laughed because it's crazy. Well, this little person, I won't call her a woman. Well, she was a woman, technically. She stamped over me in her cheap little shoes. She stamped over to me. And she demanded, like, with this threatening tone, well, like, more like this because she's so small. She's pointing at me and she's like, "What's your name? What's your number?" She grabbed my badge, my lanyard. She grabbed my badge and she's looking at it. And I'm like so shocked and so taken aback, almost silent, because I can't be silent for anything. I probably talk in my sleep. And I was like, "Excuse me?" After I recovered from this shock. And I said, "What's your name?" And her name was Lisa. I don't remember the other part of it. And she didn't say this, but she was behaving as if she was sort of looking for my name. So it was like when the Wicked Witch on The Wizard of Oz says, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too," right? That's the tone she was using. Well, I do not handle this well. So I put my snacks back in my bag. Let's go for a walk with Buddy. I put my snacks back in my bag, and I, as calmly as I can, which was not, walked over to the crew room, and I opened the door, and lo and behold, who was standing there but this woman. Well, I was so incensed. I was shaking. My hands were shaking. My voice was shaking. My mouth was so dry, I thought I could spit. It was this, because she was threatening. That was the tone she used. Me. And, because I was special. And, so I said to the supervisor, who I really don't know very well, I said, I need you and you, the woman, in that office right now. It wasn't like I was asking, oh, say, are you free? I demanded, I need to see you. And my coworker, the last one that was being drug tested, she was also very upset because this woman was so unprofessional. Threatening is a word that keeps coming to mind. Well, she also came in the room, and I laid out the story as to exactly how it happened. No word of exaggeration. And then this woman kept trying to interrupt me, and she's like, well, I just asked for his ID. I'm like, no, it wasn't you asking for something. And I went on. So he calmly, thankfully, the supervisor calmly listened to the story. And I'm so grateful to the supervisor for being so calm, because I wasn't. This is me hours after the fact. Like an hour and a half after the fact. And he calmly, and then he said, could you just please write what happened in an email, send it to, our supervisors, our base supervisors. And my question, this is not my apartment, by the way. I don't even know. Oh, yeah, all right, wait. Let me get Diana's plate. So the supervisor said, could you just send an email describing what happened, so that whatever. And so I wrote him an email so that there's some sort of paper trail. And I was demanding, what, buddy? For a way to report this woman's behavior, because it was reprehensible. We are held to such a standard, especially when we're in uniform. This woman was reprehensible. Who is meowing? Oh, it's Diana. She's making a lot of noise. Yeah, so that was the end of my day. Now I'm feeding Diana, walking with Buddy, calming down. I'm going to film a separate video probably after whoops. Where'd you go? I'm going to film a separate video about my plans for the rest of the month, how my month of April has been affected by the craziness, and then what's going to happen in May as well. So I'll be filming that separately, so watch for that video. So I'm going to hope you have a great day. Ask you to wash your hands. Don't touch your face. I know I touch my face all the time. And I'll talk to you later, okay? Fly safe.